Hi, is this Sam?
Hey, Krystal?
Yes.
Hey,
how are you?
I'm doing great. Full disclosure, we got you online right now. We're waiting on you to talk with you about the Marvin Gaye musical, Pride and Joy.
Yes.
Let's just jump right into it because this is highly anticipated. You guys are going to be at the Fisher Theater starting May 22nd. Now, please tell me a little bit about your role.
Well, first of all, it's a great, awesome show. We have such an amazing cast. So the show is about Marvin Gaye and Anna Gordy Gaye's relationship, and their highs, their lows, just their entire journey from start to finish. And it's also about how their relationship influenced the sound of Motown, because a lot of those songs that Marvin wrote, they were inspired by Anna herself. So you're going to see all of that within this production. And I'm just so excited that I'm a part of it.
Now,
extremely excited.
That's awesome. Now, you play the role of Anna Gordy Gaye.
Yes, I do.
And you have, it's hard to tell a story about a story, if that makes sense. We know, the public, for the most part, know the story, but they don't know the untold love story between Anna Gordy and Marvin Gaye, kind of what you was alluding to. So I'm very curious, how did you prepare for a role that we shouldn't even know about?
Yeah, tons and tons of research. I will say that. I did a lot of research online, in person, and I had several conversations with people who were familiar with these individuals. So that's really how I prepared. And, because, I want to do it right. I want to do it justice. So I definitely put in the time, and I'm still putting in the time just to make sure that, I put forth my best effort, and, everyone within this cast is doing the exact same thing, and you won't be disappointed. I will say that. I
look forward to it, Krystal. I feel obligated to ask this question. As a Detroiter, as a Motown, when you talk about preparation, I'm just going to ask a series of questions, if you don't mind. Have you went to the Motown Museum?
I have.
Okay. I feel like you're obligated at this point.
Yes, you have to. To get a real sense of that time and what it meant and what it stands for. You have to see it. You have to touch it. You really have to immerse yourself within that world. So definitely I did that amongst, other things, but definitely had to hit up the Motown Museum. What?
Okay.
Yes.
I hope I'm not being condescending, but I do have to ask that question.
Yeah, absolutely. I understand.
Here's why we have to ask that question. As Detroiters, Motown, now there's going to be a few people in that audience who does know that story. And there's a few people in that audience most of that audience are going to be highly critical about everything y'all do up there, because this is where it happened. So, do you feel like you got to tweak your performance just a little bit, just to say, hey, I know what I'm doing, I got it?
I mean, honestly, like I said, I just have to continue to prepare myself and just leave it on that stage and trust the work that I've done, and just and let God work through me, and just do my absolute best. And just remain in the moment and just be truthful to the work as best as I can. And that's really all I can do, and feel it for myself, because if I don't feel it, then chances are the audience won't believe me or feel it. So it starts with us. So as long as I stay true to that, and I stay true to myself and everything that this piece represents, then, you know, I feel that I've done my job.
All right,
Just
Krystal.
let God work.
Okay, I'll ease up a little bit because I know I'm coming hard in the paint. And you're not the only one.
I love it.
All right. Because I'm just saying, you're not the only one. I'll ease up a bit, but I'm very curious. How did you get involved with Pride and Joy in the first place?
I joined the cast actually on the later side of things. Initially, they reached out to my older sister at first. She's an actor as well, very successful, but unfortunately she couldn't be a part of the project. So my amazing big sister forwarded my information to New Day Entertainment, and they reached out to me, and all I can say is that the stars aligned and God showed up and showed out, and here I am, and I'm just incredibly grateful, beyond thankful. Marvin Gaye happens to be my favorite artist ever, so I just feel like God just worked and he moved, and here I am, a part of this project, this piece, this production. I'm a part of history, and I just couldn't be happier, and I just feel so incredibly blessed to be a part of this production. I really, really do. So
now, my understanding about this is a play about, you know, Marvin Gaye and Anna Gordy Gaye, but this is Motown as a whole. There are other Motown legends that make appearances during this play because, well, obviously, Anna Gordy Gaye as well as Marvin themselves were very instrumental in. So I would imagine you see other Motown, you know, people show up. Who are some of the other people that may, you know, show up during this play?
Oh, yeah. So we have Smokey Robinson. We have some Teddy Pendergrass. We have the Marvelettes, the originals. We have a plethora of artists that are going to be showing up. So, I mean, you can expect so many things. You're going to dance, you're going to laugh, you're going to cry, there's going to be some drama, some tough things brought into light, but I mean, altogether you're going to have a good time, and you're going to leave the theater feeling absolutely wonderful. I have no doubt about that. So yeah.
Krystal, this sounds great. I feel as though if I ask one more question, we gonna jump into spoiler country, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to spoil the play for nobody. However, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. But I guess let me word this right because I don't want to spoil this for anyone. A few of the people you just mentioned are still among us. They're still living. Have they seen the play, and if so, what feedback have you been given? There we go. There we go.
That was good.
I had to word that right. I had to do it right.
Absolutely. They have not seen it yet, but I am extremely excited for them to see it if that does in fact happen. We open officially in DC on next week. So, you know, we still have time for these legends to witness the show. So not yet. I'll say that, and that's all I'm going to say.
There you go. There you go. You got to word it right. You got to word it right because, like, if you get into it, you know, you can spoil some things. But that's yeah. That's why I just take your time with this. And you've been with this play, and I've been kind of seeing some stuff. What would you say, as of now, that can change, is the most fun that you're having, you know, with Pride and Joy?
Oh my gosh, the people, the cast, the crew. I mean, we are like family. From the director, T.J. Henfield, and Angela Barrow Dunlap, who is one of the playwrights as well. We're just family. The dancers, my castmates, the band, that has been the most rewarding part, because we walk into the building, we give every rehearsal our all, and then and we just bond through it all. So I feel within my heart that I've made some very, very meaningful, long-lasting relationships with every single person involved in this production, and I'm blessed, and I'm excited to get on stage. So, yeah, that's been one of the best parts so far.
And honestly, I can't wait to see it. Any last words about it? Once again, walk around these spoilers. Any last words about it?
Come to the show.
All right.
3 words. Come to the show. Bring your friends. Bring your family. And just, you're going to have an amazing time. We're going to just take you back. And it's going to be an amazing time. So please just come to the show. Yeah.
All right. Well, there we go. Pride and Joy at the Fisher Theater from May 22nd to June 2nd at the Fisher Theater right here in Detroit. Krystal, it's been a pleasure just speaking with you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sam. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello.
Hello, is this Sam?
Hey, Chae.
Hey, what's happening, Sam? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Chae. Hey, we online right now. We waiting on your call.
Oh.
Let's just jump right into the interview.
Well, here I am, bro.
Man, I'm ready to talk to you. I talked with Krystal earlier, and I asked some questions. We loose around here. We about to talk about this play, Pride and Joy.
Yeah, man. Pride and Joy, Marvin Gaye Musical.
Is at the Fisher Theater, May 22nd, going to June 2nd. Now, let's just jump right into it, Chae, because I'm looking at your picture.
Okay.
You play older Marvin Gaye. Those who are listening to me on the internet right now, that wasn't a stretch. I'm curious. How did they get you?
Well, I was working on my own Marvin Gaye musical, and I had taken some pictures in Marvin Gaye character, and it just so happened that D. Extra Wiley, who also just so happens to be Marvin Gaye III's business partner, he saw some pictures of me on Facebook and Instagram. And he reached out to me, he said, hey, man, I think that we're working on this play, and I think that you'll be a good part for Marvin. And I said, yeah, right, okay, man, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because, of course, when people call you and tell you things like that, you know what I'm saying, you just kind of, you really don't believe it until they prove themselves to be true. So after a couple of phone calls, he proved himself to be true, and, hey, he set me up with an audition with New Day Entertainment, with Kia Perry-Barr and Quentin Perry, and, hey, here I am, I got the gig.
All right, now I want to specify. Now we've been talking about this play. In this play, there's two Marvins. There's the younger, I guess, fresh-faced Marvin, and you, Chae Stephens, you play the older Marvin, circa pretty much the death of Tammy Terrell.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes. So, you have Jaron Hughes, who plays the younger Marvin, and I come in mid after the second act, because I play the what's going on, the let's get it on, I want you, Marvin. Yeah, that guy.
Now, the reason I say this is because now there are people who grew up with the music. I am not old enough to have been there, but I've done I've done my homework. When Tammy Terrell passed, Marvin himself took a whole different turn. He became more political. He became more grittier. He became more, I guess, in tune with the world itself, instead of just for lack of a better term, instead of just a performer. So, how do you feel that translate in the play? Without giving spoilers, you don't have to spoil it.
Well, it translates brilliantly, actually. The play is written by Angela Barrow Dunlap, D. Extra Wiley, and Marvin Gaye III himself. Now, I can't give away too much, you know what I'm saying, but I can tell you this. You know, a lot of the songs that was written for the What's Going On album, they were based off of letters that his brother Frankie sent him from Vietnam, and we depict that in a way to where you can kind of understand that this is where the transition happened with the younger Marvin into the newer Marvin, and then the transition is just miraculous. It's so spectacular, man. Hey, it's very, very entertaining. Watch what I tell you, man. Watch what I tell you.
For the record, I want to give you all the credit in the world to talk about this without spoiling it. I know what you wanted to say without saying it.
Yeah,
I know what you wanted to say. Now, I'm curious. You already looked the part. You kind of was already doing your own Marvin Gaye thing. I have to ask, how much preparation was needed for this role?
Well, you know, man, like I said, I've been studying Marvin now, man, for about 3 or 4 years. But of course, you know, when I was a kid, my mom played his music on Saturday mornings, you know what I'm saying, cleaning up and things like that. But you know, it's just studying. I was already in, so to speak, for lack of better words, I was already in the zone. I was already in the vibe of bringing this Marvin Gaye, just bringing his music to a stage, you know, because people wasn't doing it. And you know, I come from doing corporate bands and corporate songs and doing cover songs and things like that. So I just wanted to do something I thought people would really appreciate, because I was already singing a couple of his songs in corporate bands. And so I've been studying, man. It's just kind of one of those things that just kind of happens naturally. You know, I really don't know, but it just works. It's working.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, Chae, this is the hard part of the interview. I gotta get my 2020 on. I gotta ask some hard questions. Now,
okay.
Don't feel bad, because I went through this with Krystal. She'll tell you. I have to ask this question. Now, you've studied Marvin Gaye, you've done your homework, you know the songs, you know it backwards to forward, but you're coming to Detroit.
Right.
I need to know.
What do you need to know, man?
Are you tweaking your performance? Because there's going to be a few people in that audience who was there, who knows what it is, who knows what it sounds like. So you got to come correct, Chae. I got it.
Definitely, man. So,
how do you feel? Do you tweak your performance because you're coming to Detroit?
Well, you know, of course, man. You know, we've been rehearsing now for 10 weeks. You know, we've been rehearsing, man, 10-hour days, man. And you know, the thing is that my personal short-term goals, man, is to always be better today than I was yesterday, you know, and just by default, that makes a short-term goal a long-term goal. So it's very, very important to me that I convey not only the music and the sound, but the spirit of Marvin Gaye. You understand what I'm saying? Because I always say, man, people will forget the things that you said, and people will forget the things that you've done, but they will never, ever forget the way that you made them feel. So it's very, very important to me and myself, and I think I speak for the rest of the cast, that we give the audience something that they will leave that theater with, man, a feeling that will never, ever go away, and that's going to stay with them, that they're going to want to tell their friends and their loved ones and talk about from now until. You know, so yeah, man. You know, we're tweaking it, and we're just working hard, man, to give the people exactly what they deserve to have, man, for coming and sitting and watching this musical.
Okay, all right. Like I said, I'll ease up a little bit, but you know, native Detroiter here, I want to make sure it's right when it's right. You know what it is,
right? I understand, man. I understand, no doubt about it.
Now, Chae, I gotta say, since you've been, you know, with the cast and been a part of Pride and Joy, and I asked Krystal this too, did you get a chance to kind of do some more homework, like go to the Motown Museum? Did you get a chance to, you know, because Marvin had a few spots here in Detroit where you get a chance to see the old house, you get a chance to see some of the places he stayed. Did you get a chance to, well, let's start. Did you go to the Motown Museum?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did, and it was a wonderful experience. And it's funny that you asked that, Sam, because as a matter of fact, on Sunday, Easter Sunday, as a matter of fact, I went by his house over on what's the name of the street? I forget the name of the street. I can't remember the name of the street. Well, I went to his old house, and wow, that experience was just so surreal, man. That experience was just, yeah. So yeah, man, I went and I took some pictures. So if anybody is listening, you can go to my Instagram page, which is Marvin Chae. You can go to my Instagram page. It's at Marvin Chae, and that's MarvinChae, and just look at the pictures, man. I took some pictures in front of the house and in front of the door. The person who actually owns the house was there. You know what I'm saying? We spoke to her, and yeah, man, it was cool, man. So I'm really just trying to soak up all of this energy, man, this vibe, this Detroit vibe. You know what I'm saying? Of the museum and going to his house, and yeah, man.
I like that.
I'm getting into it.
Because you're getting into it, and I know, look, this is not a threat. It may sound like it, but it's going to be some fact checkers in that audience.
Of course,
especially
man.
Here.
Man.
So
yeah.
I like how you threw out the Instagram so people can see that you did your homework, you check your work.
Yeah, man.
Quite honestly, I'm looking at the picture. You got the red beanie on. And
yeah.
I don't know if it's the beanie, I don't know if it's genetics or DNA. You do look the part.
Well, it's funny. It's funny what a red beanie and a beard would do. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because Marvin was 6'1". I'm 6'1". If I'm not mistaken, he wore size 12, 13 shoe. I wear size 12, 13 shoe, and it's just one of those things, man. I don't know. All I know is this right here, Sam, man, is that the spirit of Marvin and Anna Gordy Gaye, man, is all up and through this production, man. And when people come and see it, they're gonna feel it. Watch what I tell you, man. Watch what I tell you.
Well, I can't wait to see it. And those who are listening, you can get your tickets now, because trust me, they ain't gonna be that long. It's from May 22nd to June 2nd. Chae, thank you so much for giving me a little bit of your time. And quite honestly, I'm gonna be there. You may get it.
Oh yeah. I gotta mention, man, you know what I'm saying? Because it's very important that everyone knows that we have 28 songs from the catalog, from the Motown catalog that's been signed off by Sony and Berry Gordy himself. So the music, man, is gonna be off the chain.
Okay. All right. Now you didn't ease me up a little bit, because I was coming. Because I'm bringing my mama, I'm bringing my mom, I'm bringing my dad. Now, they were alive during it. Since we going off script, let me just tell you a little something. I'm bringing my mama and my dad, and I told them about this, and during the commercial, they were getting hypercritical because they went to go see the Motown play. And they hit me with, like, they liked it, but they were like, man, this didn't happen. I see where y'all took liberties with this. So they already in that mode. So I know at least two people who already going to be in the audience with me. Is just going to be nitpicking everything y'all do up there. So when you said when you said you got the songs from Berry Gordy himself, that put my mind at ease just a little bit. I'm going to forward that information to my parents, and hopefully, they're going to ease up on you a little bit too.
But you know what, man? You know what? I appreciate the criticism, because at the end of the day, man, it only makes us better, man. You know what I'm saying? It makes us strive to be better, and that's very important to me. I mean, listen, man. I have relatives that are expecting a level of performance as well, man. So I don't want to not only am I looking to not let down, your people, but I have personal people myself, man. You know what I'm saying, that I do not want to let down, and you know what I'm saying, but especially myself. So yeah, we're working it.
I can't wait to see it, Chae. And thank you so much for your time, just calling into the podcast, man. It's gonna be great. It's called, one more time, it's called Pride and Joy, the Marvin Gaye Musical, at the Fisher Theater, May 22nd to June 2nd, 2019. Chae, thank you so much for calling in.
Thanks for having me, Sam, man. You take it easy, bro.
All right, you too.
All right.
Bye.